Hello, you guys. So, um, last time where I left off was, me talking to Lou on the phone. And after we were talking about Gage's death, um, I, I said something, and then Lou was saying something like this. You're just gonna have to have Cherish. She might have said it a second time, because she was like, "You're just gonna have to have Cherish," and like that. And then the way she was talking at the end of that sentence, I was saying this: "Are you crying?" And then uh, she was saying yes, and I know what your family's going through, and what uh what you're going through, and I'm so sorry about you guys. I'm so sorry that this had to happen. Like that. She was saying something like that. And I know that it was a little, uh, uh, how do you say this? She didn't say some of that again, like what I was saying, because I was trying to say what she was saying. I was trying to say what she had mostly had said. So, oh yeah, you guys, I'm gonna have to slowly talk about this because I went to sleep very late because I couldn't go to sleep because of you know what happened yesterday. And and yes, my stomach is growling, um but it's gonna have to growl while I am still talking about this in the rest of this video. So I'm gonna pause this to what else to think. Um Actually, no, I don't have to pause it. While Lou was talking about this while she was crying, I mean, after she was talking about the stuff while she was crying, I was saying, uh, do I need to cry? Something like that. And she was saying, you don't have to. And, she was saying something else while she was crying, and, and then I was saying, alright, I'm gonna go, talk to Sheila. I'm gonna let Sheila know that she is dead. I said something like that to her, and she said, "Okay, bye. You take care, William. I'm really sorry." And then I was saying to Lou, "Thank you." Um, and then Lou was saying, "You're welcome. Bye. I love you." And I said, "Bye. I love you too." The conversation was something like that. But while I was hanging up, while we were saying all that by saying bye and all that stuff and hanging up, um, like either I hanged up or she hanged up. Sheila actually knew about this already. She opened the door while we were getting ready to finish our conversation and hang up. And after the hang up, I was then looking at Sheila. Sheila was then saying, "Hey, darling, are you all right?" Something like that. And I said to Sheila, "Uh, oh," I said, "Sorry." I'm trying to say I said something like this. "Oh, you knew about this already?" And Sheila said, "Yes." She said something like that, and she's like, "Don't you want to go over there and see her?" Um, and so she was saying something like that, and I said something like this: "No, I don't want to see the dead body. I'm afraid of seeing the dead body." And Sheila was saying, "Oh, hey, okay, that's all right." Um, and she closed the door. And I know that I was stuttering there and saying it a little bit all over again, um, but you guys still know that that's not what she had exactly said, and every time when I stutter, you know that's not how they exactly say it. You guys get that, right? Alright, and you guys know that I say it like that because they're mistakes, right? Okay. So I decided to, um, call Kim, and, uh, I was telling her, I know, I know that I wasn't supposed to call her only just by letters or messages, but I called her anyway. And and Kim was saying, oh, "Hey William," something like that, and I was telling her that I have some bad news, something like that, and she was like saying, "Oh, what happened?" And then I said to her, "Our dog died." And then she said, "Oh no, I'm so sorry," something like that. And we talked about Sissy's death, and I'll get to the other stuff that has nothing to do with Sissy's death in another video. But uh, we during that conversation, like, I was telling her I didn't want to see the dead body because last time I saw a dead body, it was Bud, and uh, and uh, who is not really our grandfather. He adopted our dad, and and when I saw his dead body, it looked kind of scary. I had to cover it up, and that's why. And that's what I said, something like that to her, and Kim saying, "Oh yes, yeah, that makes sense. That's a good thing. Why you cannot see the dead body." Um, I was not saying this to be glad that she is gone, but I, oh yeah, I even said this to my father as well before he went out to the door before I called Lou by saying I'm glad I don't have to clean up. I'm glad that I don't have to clean up her pee and poop anymore, and I said that to my dad. I said that to Kim as well, and Kim was during while that conversation was going, she was saying that about that they had a golden retriever, and it had uh I forgot how it died, but and I forgot what gender it was, but she said it died, and it died like a few years ago, I think. I don't know how long ago it was, but uh after that conversation, and uh let's see, oh yeah, what I can say quickly, because it has nothing to do with this video, is that we talked about um uh that the truth of about my family, and and mostly about my mother. And so I was saying, while we were talking, I was saying, how is, um, is anyone with you here? I mean, is anyone there with you? I said something like that, and she was saying, "No, I'm cleaning the kitchen myself," and she said something, like that, and sorry, there was a burp inside of my throat, but anyway, um. Uh, I was, she was saying, something like this, you want to talk to them? And I was saying, yes, I need to talk to them. I said something like that. And then we waited after they were coming back, after, sorry, hang on. Kim was then saying this after I had answered her question and I wanted to talk to them, and she was saying they were at an ice cream shop or ice cream truck. They'll be back for a while. She said something like that, or they'll be back in a little bit. She said something like that. And then after that I said something like this. How about, hey Kim, how about this? How about after how about while we are still talking, while we're still holding on the phone, they'll come back and I'll talk to them. And Kim was saying something like this. Okay, we'll hang on this phone until they get here. So after that conversation, Kim was saying only Olivia came home, and guess what? When she was asking, "Do I want to see Olivia?" something like that, I then answered her something like this, "Yes." And then she was saying something like this, "All right, William, let me put you on speaker." And then, and while she was putting this on speaker, uh, or she didn't have to tell Olivia because I didn't hear anything because Olivia was hearing about it. Uh, After she was putting the phone on speaker, um, uh, Olivia then said something like this: "Hey, William," or "Hi, William." Sorry, what took so long for me to talk about it. This is to remember what we had almost exactly said. So I then said this. I said something like this after she said that. I said this. Hello? Because because I was thinking that she was walking around and I need her to talk to me through the phone like I was thinking where she was at in the kitchen and and uh and then we were talking about Sissy's death. I told her about it and she was sad, but Kim and Olivia were not crying. I felt like I was about to cry, but I was holding it. Andrew was kind of crying. Daddy was crying. My mother was mostly crying by sobbing. Sheila was sobbing a little bit, and like I said before, Lou was crying as well while sobbing. So after what was I about to say? After we talked about Sissy's death, we then talked about my problems with the family, and I even told her that I was jealous that I was born the day after her, and felt like that I should have been born before her. But then Kim was explaining that it felt like that she was actually pregnant before my mother. So it uh, makes sense that Olivia was born the day before me. But I'll get to that in another video, but that's something that I kind of want to bring up of what we were talking about other than just Sissy. So, uh, so after we talked about all of that, Olivia, oh yeah, Sheila and my mother keep going in one at a time. Like my mother, I think my mother was once with my father, or a few times when she was coming out from the door while my father was behind her. Uh, my mother was saying, "Come over here, William." Yeah, she was like saying this, "William, come over here. William, come." While she was still sad, and I was saying, "No, I don't want to see the dead body. I'm scared." And my mother was saying, all right, you don't have to." she was saying that same stuff like that, and she kept saying, William, come over here and say goodbye to her dead body. They're getting ready to take her now. And I was saying, no, I'm scared. And she was then saying like this, you don't have to. And she closed the door, and while I was still talking to Olivia, and after what was going on is that after she had closed the door, and while I was still talking to Olivia, and Olivia was saying something like this, you need to at least talk to your mother, like feel like comfort her or comfort the dead body. Before she was saying that before, my mother was saying say goodbye to the dead. I mean, say goodbye to Sissy before they take her away, and uh she uh uh what was I about to say? Uh, Olivia was saying that before my mother came in and saying, William, um, it's time, uh, say goodbye, come out here and say goodbye to Sissy before they, take her out. Or she was saying something like this as well. It's time to say, William, say goodbye to Sissy before they take her away by kissing her. Something like that. And, or something like this. William, uh, she was saying something like this. William, say goodbye to Sissy by kissing her before they take her away. And then like I said before, I was scared, and then she was saying that I didn't have to, and she closed the door, and I continued talking to Olivia. And while I continued talking to Olivia after my mother closed the door, my dad, and Sheila went out. Uh, they took the. I thought they came and took her dead body. Some other people, Uwari funeral. That's what it's called in Albemarle, North Carolina. In Albemarle, North Carolina, we call it Uwari Bank. It used to be called Bank of Stanley, but several years ago it was changed to Uwari Bank, and we called it they called it Uwari Funeral, and they took her. My dad, my mother, and Sheila all took her to that place. Same place where they took Bud, and they might have cremated it right now. I don't know, because since he hasn't been dead for a day yet. And I don't know what time she died. I'll ask that question to my mother. I didn't know they went out to Uwari funeral until Sheila told me about that tonight when I was talking to her on the phone, when it was like 9:47 to 9:48 when I started calling her, and we hanged up around 10 o'clock to 10:01, and when they came back, my dad opened the door while I was still talking to Olivia, and I was asking a question to Daddy, is the dead body gone? I was saying something like that, and my dad was nodding his head, or he was saying yes while nodding his head, and then I hugged him, oh yeah, and me and my mother had an argument before Sissy died, so my mother didn't tell me to apologize. Nobody didn't tell me to apologize. I decided to apologize to her by saying sorry for the argument and sorry for Sissy's death. And while I was talking to the phone, either I was still talking to Kim or Olivia when I was saying that to my mother, and she was saying it's all right. Before she closed the door. So remember, you guys, her and Sheila came in there a few times. She came in. I mean, they came into my room a few times, and and so after I was hugging to my father, like after he answered to me about her body gone, I then hugged her, and then while I was still talking to the phone with Olivia going out in the hallway, I was Olivia was saying, "You should go over there and be with your mother." And then I was saying, "All right, I'll get off this phone and I'll talk to you later." And Olivia was saying, "All right then, bye." And then I said bye, and one of us hanged up, and then I went over there to the kitchen to my mother. Oh yeah, while I was talking to Kim and Olivia and Lou, all those people, and to my father, I was I was hearing my mother crying like I'm not making fun of my mother. I'm just trying to tell you guys that's how it actually sounded. She was saying, "Will, come over here." And I was saying, "No, I don't want to see the dead body." Because like I said before, and I said this to Kim and Olivia, that if I see the dead body, I'll I'll picture it forever, like that I am currently picturing Bud's dead body, and 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 when I was thinking about Bud's dead body, and even to this day, I lose my appetite. And if I looked at like at one peek to Sissy's dead body, even it could even be gross under the blanket or sheet, I then would be losing my appetite from that as well. At least I didn't get to see my mom's dead body, because back then COVID was dangerous, and my grandmother uh Teresa died from COVID, like I said. Um, so my uncles could not see the dead body because, of course, COVID. So anyway, uh, what was I about to say? Um, hang on. So after either Olivia or I had hanged up, I then put my two phones down on the red record that you play music on, and I went over there to my mother and said, "Come here, mommy," and we were hugging each other, and Sheila was saying something like this while I was talking to my mother, like, "You're throwing the bowl," and she was saying, "Yes," because it was her bowl, and after Sheila was and I'm gonna say this mixed up, that after Sheila had left, my mother had threw the black or gray holder, like dog bowl holders, and the dog bowls, she threw them over the balcony from our deck. And Sheila showed me where Sissy had died. We were talking outside, and Sheila told me it was a heart attack, or no. She didn't answer. She didn't tell me about. She didn't tell me the cause of death to me. She was saying that to my mother in front of me. She was saying to my mother, it was a heart attack, something like that. Before, while they were going inside, and I followed them, and also that while I was talking to my mother, that you could keep that bowl as good memory, and while I was saying something else, um, Sheila was then saying, uh, just, just, uh, do not say anything to her, okay? She, just don't panic, alright? Same thing with my mother saying don't panic. And, while I was, um, while I was, Uh, what else happened? The night before Sissy's death, before and after midnight, I was thinking about Sheila's death and how it will go, and if I know that I will never see her die, but I know that Matthew will see her die. I bet because he is her only child, and and I told Sheila that I would ask her if I was with her to the hospital, like if she's about to take her last breath. I tell her that if you see somebody, or since you see somebody, grab um grab her or his hand and see if him or her will pull you out while you take your last breath, like pull you into heaven. And then after she dies, or before she dies, I tell her this, that give us a sign after you die, and she gives us a sign, and before she gives us a sign to let us know that she's all right and she is a spirit. I was telling Matthew, don't cry right now because we still gotta look at her. We still gotta see her signs, and then after the signs of her showing us that she is all right, I then would tell Matthew that, okay, you can now cry, and we would start crying. And but no, I mostly would expect that Matthew would come to our house and to let us know that Sheila is dead. So, but Sheila is still alive now. She's 71 and she'll turn 72 in December 13. So, uh, and if you don't remember Sissy, our dog, she was that black dog throughout our videos that would walk with our mother all the good times, but I didn't want to film the last videos of her because it is sad to film her like this while she is dying. Um, she would sound like this while she is dying. And sometimes she would barf out something inside of boogers, and she would used to barf out earlier this year like yellow boogers. At least she was cured from that. But my mother said another thing that is not cured is her heart disease, and the doctor said that she got it from one of her parents. My mother said to me that she got it from one of her parents, and I didn't know that one of her parents died from a heart attack. So, we didn't expect her to die from a heart attack. We expect her to die normally. And we expected for her to live for a few more years, but no, it happened too soon. And I get you guys are saying it was her time to go, it was God's will, but no, it still was too soon. I didn't even get to have a chance to say goodbye to her. And I know that I could have said goodbye to her as her dead body, but no, I meant that I could have said goodbye to her before she died. But after this, after like past midnight, I saw the light was like kind of dying in my lamp, and it felt like that she was there. It felt like that her spirit was there, and I played with her spirit. I was thinking it was there, and I tried to get her. I tried to get my mother, but she didn't believe me. She was laying down in her bed, and I'll get to all that later. But uh, that is it for part two, and I'll get to that other stuff later in the next video. And the next video will be about the cows, the same cows that are with me today until they'll be shipped away. I know that they're still here. So, all I can say is bye, and I don't mean to say all I can say is bye over, like, disrespect to, Sissy. I just don't know what else to say. So, anyways, again, all I can say is bye.